Welcome back to your favorite channel. It's your boy K9s, Dog, TV, and News, giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some brothers gonna like it, some ain't, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in right now. Everybody that's watching from afar, whether you be in the chat or just watching, like I say, from the next room, listening. Big appreciation to everybody, man, from across the world, from across the country, from the top of the globe to the bottom of the globe, man. Everybody that's taking care of them pets, no matter what kind of pet they rocking with. We got some dog talk, some dog news today. Some breaking news. You may have seen it across the sites, different places, but we're gonna speak on that as well. Some brothers, like I say, some brothers, a brother and a lady towed some dogs off a bridge. We're gonna speak about that as well. But like I said, I hope everybody having a great day, man. Had a great day, starting their New Year's off right. Doing whatever they gotta do with these hounds out here, my brothers and sisters.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon. It can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous, it's the world honestly burning. That's all I'm learning, hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man. I just gotta get through. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through.
Now, before we get into that dog news, I'm gonna touch on this topic real quick. Big salute to BKK out there. You hit me up in the comments on the Facebook, and you was speaking about too much proteins in the puppies, and I didn't really understand where you was coming at with that. But at the same time, we gonna get on live so we can talk about that and let the brothers and sisters know what the discussion is as far as protein, because they may need to know it. Either way. But the thing is, when it comes to them yellow dogs that we got, and that's why I speak about certain things with these yellow dogs, fam. That's why I speak, high on the Big John stuff, because I know it's coming off the yellow stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it haven't been cut up yet. So you got them genes all trapped up in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't got the Mayday or the other stuff, or another family of yellow dogs, the Cinco stuff, or you got different families of the yellow dogs. You don't have none of that stuff up in there. It's all coming from the Big John. It's coming from the Saber dog, and the Blondie dog. It's several dogs and all these dogs are brothers and sisters, or daddies and daughters. So at the end of the day, it's what I speak about when I say capturing the traits. So I'm also going to show a bunch of the yellow offspring coming directly off Grand Champion Yellow. It's a lot of them. I'm going to speak about, some of them that I know. I don't know a lot of them. I'm just using these pictures and these pedigrees to show you, the body structure and where we get certain things from. Now, when it comes to how big my puppies is, You know, yeah, I'm keeping them fat. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping them fat because that's what I'm telling brothers. I'm trying to do, give you healthy puppies. Because they're fat don't mean they're healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're fat don't mean they're healthy. But if I know I'm making tight breedings and I know these dogs, you know, they can lack certain things, I'm upping on what I'm giving them. You know, I mean, like I'm making sure I'm worming them. See, this the thing too. A lot of these, and I keep telling brothers, a lot of the dogs that look different than what they look when brothers sell puppies, if brothers do certain things certain ways. And like I said, when I say that, it don't mean brothers not doing things right. It just means sometimes we slack on certain things. And when it comes to me in my program, you know, I know how I talk high on them, so I know I gotta stay on them. I can't come out here slipping, giving you some flim flam. You know, and see, genetics ain't that fat that's on the dog. That fat that's on the dog is me feeding him and making sure he got something to eat every time he wants something to eat. That don't have nothing to do with the genetics. As that dog grows, he gonna be, you know, what he's supposed to be. But at the same time, if he start off at 1 and 2 months old and he's not the size he's supposed to be, then he's starting off life wrong from the rip. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to give brothers the dogs as healthy as possible as I can. You know what I'm saying? Brothers may look at one dog, like I said, YSL is the runt of the litter, the real runt. She was small as hell, you know. And like when you see the dogs in the cages, those are like two of the biggest males from that litter, you know. But one thing about them yellow dogs, I know from back then, and that's why I always say, man, you know, salute to all the brothers that dealing with lines that they've been dealing with, you know, for a while. Because when we got the dogs coming straight off of Toe Jam, which is Yellow Sun, you know, they all had that hound dogish, big ears, flappy dog look. You know what I'm saying? It's just different strains of the yellow coming down off Yellow. You know, and like I said, the brother Ted didn't play the game right the way he was supposed to play the game when it came to a lot of them yellow breedings. So when you don't want to understand why certain dogs don't look like certain dogs, you know, it's because when brothers made the breedings, they just like me and certain brothers says on these interviews, you know, they're not what you think they is. So you get different structures and different forms and look in different ways, and you want to stick to, oh, this bred a certain way, but really it is bred a certain way, you know, not the way you think it is. And I'm not talking about to one particular brother, I'm just talking about in general, you know. And like I said, I love to speak on that too much protein topic because, you know, I may be doing something too much protein, but at the end of the day, I'm not giving them no more than a good quality food and making sure I got dogs with great vitamins in them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't help, like I always say, every dog ain't supposed to look the same, you know, especially when they're not coming off the same family of dogs. You know, I don't care how tight your yellow is. If your yellow stuff don't got none of my dog family in it, it's not gonna look like my dog family. You know what I'm saying? And if you not dealing with my dog family and you going off 1 or 2 dogs you see from my dog family, you know, you can't make a comparison off that because I'm comparing everything from my dog on back to Yellow because it ain't no outs in it from my dog back to Yellow. So the dog can take genes from any of them dogs. You know, it might skip the mama and the granddad and go to the greats and look like them. It might look like the great grands because it's still all in that punch. And then when he make the cross, that same exact thing can happen because, you know, it made bred so tight so long. You know, I mean, and like I said, I don't really understand, you know, where you say it's too much protein, you know, but I'm willing to sit back and listen so you can explain it to me and help me understand it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I've been doing so far, everything been working, you know, and when it worked, why switch it up? You know, I'm not trying to look like the next person. I got to show my uniqueness. You know, make it hard for the next person if they want to try to get their dogs in that same way. You know, When I say make it hard, I mean keep doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? We all got different strains of yellow, like I said. Whether I call it bootleg or whether I call it the real stuff, you know, it's all different strains of it. And a lot of brothers, like I said, we have the Mayday stuff, which is the bolio dogs in it. You know, great structured dogs when you're coming down off Mayday far as how they looking and stuff like that. We got different strains. You know, I always say the Mayday dogs have more of a look than the Big John dogs. You can't just spot a Big John dog all the time at this present day of time. But you can spot a Mayday dog for the most part. You can tell, even if it's a Frisco dog, you can tell if it got some Mayday in it for the most part. Sometimes you can't, but for the most part, you can. You know, and like I said, man, I'm willing to, you come up on the live when we go live, and we can talk about it, because a lot of brothers may need to know the same thing I may need to know, or vice versa. You know, I don't believe in taking a puppy weight back unless he's getting rickets in his legs. If the puppy not getting rickets in his legs, he all right. You know, if you're not exercising them, see, I got my puppies big because I taking them out. I'm taking them out, running them, playing with them, doing all other kind of stuff. So he gonna start growing. He gonna start stretching. All that fat get wore off when you taking them out and letting them run around and play and stuff. You know, all that's what they call baby fat. You know, and like I said, when you starting off like that, I like to give brothers a good start. You know, it ain't no such thing as having high cholesterol and all that for a 5 or 6 week old puppy, and you just giving him the stuff he need. You know, you ain't going over and beyond and giving him too much. You know, at the end of the day. And then at the end of the day, another thing is, you know, I can never get up here and tell you fully what I'm doing with my puppies. I can tell you how to take care and certain things that I use or certain things that I may go. But at the end of the day, everybody got their own secrets. And that's what makes it so valuable to have your own secrets when brothers think they know certain things, or, you know, and try to, you know how it go. You know how it go. No matter what we all say, we all still strive to have, you know, some of the best looking dogs. And if we can't work our secrets and our keeps and our going in the box and all that, like back in the days, we can work our secrets in other ways. You know, how I keep this dog looking like this. You know, I tell some brothers certain supplements, but you think it's only supplements. I tell you, it's more than that. You know, it's more than that. And a lot of times it's in the genetics, man. You know, the same way that brother got in the comments and he said, them Walkmore dogs built like that. You know, and you got to look at it, man. Like I said before, it's not a whole lot of families. I could count on one hand how many families of yellow dogs that's been bred like them Big John dogs and still bred the way they bred 2024 all the way back when Yellow was born, you know, and stayed into that same family. No, whether I did it or not, it has been done, you know, and I'll be a fool to act like it wasn't working. When I say working, I mean, like I always say, if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know, we all know we don't get aces from every litter. Aces come when they come. You may get an ace from a scatterbred dog, and that ace can't produce you nothing. The bite out of a wet paper bag, and it ain't hitting on nothing. They won't scratch, worth for nothing. It ain't game. But the daddy of ace, it just fall like that sometimes. And I mean, for the most part, you know, like I said, I'm gonna show you these yellow pictures and these pedigrees and stuff. And what we're gonna focus on is the chest, the leg areas, you know, the body structure. That's what we're focusing on. We're not too much focusing on color, but we're looking at everything, you know. But for the most part, we're looking at the chest area, the legs, and that deep chest cavity. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, we gonna go, most of these dogs going back to the 90s and the early 2000s, but most of them to the 90s. Oh, I want to give a shout out to my Spanish brothers out there, my Hispanic brothers, my Mexican brothers. I'm guessing this dog from Mexico. Heard about it. Great dog. Nachito. If I ain't saying it right, fam, Grand Champion Nachita or something like that. Big salute out to the brothers with Grand Champion Nachita out there, man. Holding it down. PB K9s, you know, and like I said, we always represent the legal stuff, the positive things when it comes to this breed. When brothers go to these shows, the confirmation shows, and they put this time in and they get these dogs titled champions and grand champions and different things, you know, you gotta represent for brothers, man, because it ain't no easy task. It ain't no easy task at hand, and you know, it just is what it is, fam. You know, salute to Nachita. If I'm saying it right, hopefully I'm saying it right, brother. You know, and all my Hispanic dog brothers out there, man. Big salute to all y'all, fam. And Happy New Year's. You know, Happy New Year's. Yeah, man. But yeah, first, let's go ahead and get in a little bit of this news real quick, man, so we can get back into this dog talk and get back deep in this thing, man. We got a family that loses everything. You know, loses everything, but they didn't lose their lives, which is the most important thing. And guess how they was woken up for the fire? They had a fire. The dog woke them up. But I ain't gonna give you the whole story. Just some of it. But you know where you heard it first? PBK9's Dog Talk and News for the day. Let's get into it.
We are inside the house of a Moriarty family that has lost everything. Right now, they are trying to scavenge whatever they can, but from what they tell me, it is a total loss.
It's a total loss, and I'm just worried about my mother. She just retired, and that's all I'm concerned about.
Jeremiah Baca says what happened Christmas Day is a heartbreaking disaster. In addition to his mobile home, the entire house is unrecognizable from the inside and outside. Now he and others are doing what they can to rebuild what's been taken away from them.
She just retired, and I just want her to get my mom back on her feet and my family back together.
Baca says he isn't sure how the fire started. He says his dog Lucy woke him up in the morning. Unfortunately, he says she died in the fire.
I found my dog this morning, and I had to bury her, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
Regardless of what the challenges are moving forward, he's happy to say the community had his family's back during the crisis.
They were amazing, and even the police department when they showed up, they arrived on the scene, and they said everybody back, and I told them, well, I said these people are helping. These people are trying to help save my home.
Baca says he's trying to help his mom however he can. He's worried about her well-being, but for the time, he's asking the community to help him and his family rebuild what they have lost. In Moriarty, Julian Paras, KOAT Action 7 News.
All right, now we got a little bit more news where this happened on, I want to say, around the Christmas time, Christmas Eve or something like that. Police is riding. You know these dogs are smart. We always say that all the time. But this dog right here gonna tell you and show you how smart he is. I gave you the last one where the dog came home and rung the doorbell, you know, and that was a girl dog. I was gonna say if that was a male dog, he went out looking for him. He smelled something. He went out and found it and came back. But that was a girl dog. So she might be, which they ain't saying that about she was in heat, but you know, she just wandered around and came back. But this particular situation right here, we got a German Shepherd that, you know, he was wandering and police stopped for him or something like that. And they was doing something. Basically, the police was doing something. I ain't sure if they was messing with the dog or talking to somebody else, but they had the door open. And the dog came and jumped inside the police car and wouldn't get out. Got in the back seat. And he had a tag and stuff on him with the phone number. So the police check all that stuff out and ended up calling the owners and come get their dog. So they end up having a happy Christmas. But anyway, let's get into that little video. Check it out. PBK9s, you know where you always get it from, man. We're going to get into that dog news in a few minutes. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button up, man. Go ahead and hit that like button up. If you ain't going to donate to the channel, at least hit that like button up. And like I said, we got some yellow stuff to talk about and more things as well, man. And like I always say, y'all drop down what you want me to speak about, different topics you want me to talk about. And to the brother that hit me up in Facebook in the Messenger, you know, want me to talk about the different topics. I got you on the next video. I'm going to check that out. I didn't read every single thing you said, but I know you text me and I know what you was talking about. So I got you on the next video. I'm going to check it out. And big thanks too as well, homie. But yeah, man, let's get into this. German Shepherd jumped inside the police car and wouldn't get out until he got him a ride home.
Hop out. So we stop, and then he comes back towards us, hops at the window, and then so I hop out to go around, and he's not here no more. I left my door open, and I go back to Nestle. I just hop right in. Five 307.
There's 2 numbers on there.
Yeah.
6-0.
We're in the promoting area. 10
So the dog had a tag on him, so we were able to get it. So we can't take control.
Absolutely, yep. Thank you. Yeah, he said his brother-in-law, so I told him where that 1057, he's like, oh, my brother is here. Actually, so we started him because he was super long. Yeah. So we went inside last night. You want us to wait for you to get a leash or just want to grab it?
I have to check out if the door's open.
Do you need a leash or is he free?
Overall, man, pretty good environment here. But, man, well, happy holidays to you guys.
All right, you too.
All right,
Merry
man. Thank you
Christmas.
guys.
Now, another reason I was speaking about the yellow dogs because I wasn't sure what you was speaking about BKK with the protein. And, you know, I always say, man, you know, before these dog channels came up, it's a lot of things that didn't get uncovered when it came to a lot of these old school dogs. You know, which I'm speaking about yellow. You know, particularly I'm speaking about yellow. And no matter how great brothers' dogs are in modern day times, you know what I'm saying? A lot of flim-flam been done in these breedings back in the 90s or back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things happen, and whether you want to believe it or not, they happen. And another thing, you know, if you got Mayday dogs and you got straight tight bred Mayday dogs or Barracuda, you can't expect, you know, our dogs to have the same traits. That's almost like a whole different family. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always, when I take my pride in how them brothers bred the dogs, they didn't go out to other families, you know, and they kept it working. When I say working, you didn't have to fix it. You know, the breeding was done properly. The breeding was done right because they know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, you just gotta explain to me about the protein thing. You know, what do you mean, like the dog's growing too fast? You know, or what to make you feel like it's too much protein? And then to solve that solution, if it was too much protein, you know, how do you go about that if I'm only giving them dog food? See, I may only be giving them dog food and they turning out like that. Worming them right like they supposed to be wormed, second week, fourth week, sixth week. You know, I mean, what, cut back to cheaper dog food? I mean, everybody gonna feed their dogs different things. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna feed their dogs different things. And everybody dogs aren't supposed to be shaped the same, especially if they aren't off the same family of dogs. You know? Mayday can't be compared to Big John when it comes to the looks wise. When I mean compared, I mean they got two different looks because simple fact, one was concentrated in this. Mayday himself had a cross in him with the bolio stuff. Big John wasn't cross. He was back into the yellow. You know, he was more like how Barracuda is bred. When I say more like that, because Barracuda got more yellow in him than more yellow dogs in him than Mayday himself. Even though Mayday is directly a 50% yellow dog. You know what I'm saying? On the bottom half is what I'm speaking about. You know, but when it comes to Big John, you know, he was straight top and bottom. You know, coming off, you know, off that stuff. So and like I said, they're gonna give you different kind of dogs. But, you know, like I said, man, the panel is always open for discussion. Feel like it'll be a great discussion on that tip. Everybody keep doing what they doing with them dogs out there, man. Now, a couple of dogs that I want to speak about and let you see it up here off the yellow stuff is we start off with Champion Hardcore's Bozak, you know, and I'm gonna throw him up on the screen. Hardcore's Bozak, and I'm not gonna stay on these dogs too long. I'm just gonna show a lot of yellow offspring, and we just gonna look at, like I say, look at their chest and look at their stances, look at their bone structures. You know, look at the whole body, period. You know, and like I say, y'all gonna start listening to me sooner or later when I tell you about a lot of these dogs ain't came off what you thought they came off of. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna listen to me sooner or later when it come to that. You know, and like I said, the dogs that we talking about today, whether it's your dogs or my dogs, we ain't talking about no bootleg. You know what I'm saying? We talking about dogs that either came off Mayday or dogs that came off Big John. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you know, like I said, they're gonna be two different shaped puppies. They're gonna have puppies shaped differently. It's gonna be like that, man. The Mayday dogs, they look a lot like Mayday. Them Big John dogs, they look a lot like some of Mr. Burns' dogs. You know, to me, they look more like the Mr. Chavis dogs and Mr. Burns dogs. You know, when you start looking at them throughout the years, some of them looking like them Jocko dogs and some of the stuff Mr. Chavis had. Some of them was looking like Burns Stumpy. You know, and the rest of some of Mr. Burns' other dogs. And you had the big head dog. You know, all these dogs are coming directly off yellow. You know, you got Tance Toe Jam coming directly off yellow. You know, you got now Southern Styles yellow too. You know, look at this dog's, you know, stance, chest, how wide his chest is. And then, like I said, on a lot of these dogs, you can see how they got that deep chest cavity on them. You know, and that's just a trait in the dogs. You know, some of them yellow dogs don't carry the traits that yellow actually had. You know, you may have a yellow pedigree, but your dogs don't produce dogs that actually look like they came from off yellow them back in the days. You know, that hound dog look, you know, for a period of time. You know what I'm saying? You got Tance Big Bob. Look at this dog. Tance Big Bob. Now, we spoke about this dog on an interview, and this is not here to talk about, we was talking about the other Bob, because Big Bob and the regular Bob, I think, I want to say was two different dogs. And we were speaking about Bob. But the thing I put in this dog picture up here before is to let you see how he's shaped from the front, on the front end, you know. And this is supposed to be a dog directly off yellow. And like I said, the traits are captivated by the brothers who was breeding that Big John stuff. And I always say they got them in there good, man. They got them in there good. And it just, when you breed certain dogs, you just gotta, peep certain things out. I had to get put on it by another brother that noticed certain things when it came to, they structure and all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say I know every single thing about the yellow dogs and all kind of stuff like that. But I don't mind doing research, and I don't mind comparing and contrasting when it comes to my dogs and some of the old school pictures. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming directly from it. And that's what we get up here and talk about on a day-to-day basis, is these dogs looking like the dogs in the pedigrees? Is they looking like, that's why I always say, put pictures of these dogs up on online page. That way we can see what these dogs look like so we can compare them. Even if the whole pedigree can be right? Whole pedigree right. No pictures on none of the dogs on all the pairs, but it got colors and stuff. And you can see that. But if you got pictures on that, on all the pairs, man, your dog might look like a dog in the 5th or the 6th generation. But you'll never know that because there's no pictures on the online pairs of half the dogs. All them pictures gonna do is add more excitement, add more research, add more knowledge to what you got in your hand and you looking at, man. It ain't to try to catch nobody up, none of that. It's adding more everything what you can do with your dog. You got a litter of puppies you just bred, and they don't really look like, you think they look like the mama, but when you look at them back in the 6th generation, you see where all these colors coming from, and you see where this coming from and that's coming from. So that's why I say, man, the pictures be great on online here. And these yellow dogs I'm showing you, like you got another one called Caloos Roscoe. Great looking dogs, but we just looking at the structure, mainly the front end built of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? And the ear structures and stuff like that. We know how they coming. You got Premium Kennels, Yellow Man. Premium Kennels, Yellow Man. And Mickles Scoop. Great looking dog, man. Mickles Scoop. All these dogs, like I say, is coming off yellow. And Terrence Travis right here. We talked about that dog in the interview as well. I can't remember exactly what the brother said in the interview. I have to go back and listen to it myself. But one of these pictures, because Travis had 2 pictures on online ped. One of these pictures wasn't Travis. At least that's what the brother said. And I'm going by what that brother said because he was there in that yard with them dogs. Because we read a couple books, we want to act like we want to tell that man what the hell he seen and been through when he was on them folk yard. That's why I don't understand, man, because somebody told you a damn dog story 10, 15, 20 years ago. You said you don't believe what that man said, that man was there. And somebody just told you a story or you read the story. That's what's wrong with a lot of people in the dog game, man. We can't help you invest so much in a lot of dreams, and a lot of that stuff that you invested in wasn't real. Now you're finding it out, and you're just not going to accept it. You're just not going to accept your old lady of hope. It is what it is. Life, keep going. If you love it, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. A lot of stuff ain't what it's supposed to be off of. And at the end of the day, man, I see brothers on Facebook complaining all the time about these brothers and sisters out here railroading folk, man, giving them bull jive dogs and not off what they said it's off of. You know what I'm saying? Not off what it says off of. Oh, man, let me get to this last little bit of news. Then we're going to get back to this dog talk. We got that brother, I think they're in Alabama. The brother and the older lady tossed some dogs off a bridge, Dog River Bridge or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I seen it. The brother put me on to it. Big salute out to your family. Shoot me that message down in the comments about that article. I went and checked it out, did some research on it. And I didn't get the one off that was on YouTube. I went and got another one. Wish they talking about the same stuff or whatever. But big salute to you, man. These folk out here crazy. And then they got caught doing it. And you already know the dogs got saved. You about to look at the video, or you already seen it. Dogs got saved. And they about to be in some trouble. They're gonna be in so much trouble probably that they're gonna say, dang, over some dogs. It just is what it is, man. And the crazy part about it, We done covered news articles where brothers took dogs to the dog pound and just left them, tied them up at the front door. They charged them with that, abandoning a dog. You know what I'm saying? That brother, you know that brother said, man, I'm gonna take them to the dog pound and drop them off. They'll do something with them. You know, I mean, it's a crazy world. These folk out here, they press the issue about these animals, so you better act like you know, and you gotta do what you gotta do. If you wanna get rid of them, take them to the vet. Take them to the pound or the animal shelter and tell them you're trying to put them down or the vet or whatever, and then you gotta pay that fee. You know, or give them to somebody. Them little dogs they dropped off that bridge, you know, that you about to see, they could have gave them dogs to somebody, man. Some little kid wants some puppies or something to play with. Like, I don't be knowing what be on people's minds sometimes. You know, the dog pound would have took them. If they wouldn't have took them, you definitely could have found some little kid to give them to. You know what I'm saying? But drop them off into the river? Hey, Lord working mysterious ways. Karma don't always got to go no 10 years and 5 months and 10 months. Sometimes karma in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Karma be in 10 minutes. In this situation, it was. PBK9's Dog Talking News. Let's get into this and we'll get back to that dog talk. Let's go.
We've got breaking details right now on a story about 2 dogs thrown from the Dog River Bridge.
Tonight, an 18-year-old and a 71-year-old face animal cruelty charges.
Natalie Williamson working on this story tonight. Those 2 were taken into custody, you say, in just the last few hours.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny and Cameron. Robert Bryant with the City of Mobile Animal Services says they didn't have much information on the suspect after the dogs were thrown off the bridge on Saturday. But with the help of Mobile police and the community, they were able to track down the 2 suspects, DeVoris Gallery and Mary Rivers, in just a few days.
She wouldn't have could have dog. She wouldn't have could have dog.
This thing is bigger than Nino Brown.
She wouldn't have could have dog.
That's 18-year-old DeVoris Gallery, one of 2 people accused of throwing these 2 miniature pinchers off the Dog River Bridge Saturday. Police also arresting 71-year-old Mary Rivers, who was also let out of the Mobile 1st Precinct Wednesday night. It's a story that captured the attention of many within the community. 2 little dogs thrown off Dog River Bridge on December 28th. Photos of this black SUV making its way around social media, getting thousands of shares, all to help identify the people responsible for this act of animal cruelty. The 911 call came in around 3:30 p.m. Saturday after DJ Perryman says he heard a loud splash while he was at the River Shack, followed by gasps of people.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the 2 heads swimming and realized it wasn't a person but an animal.
Police say these 2 dogs were thrown off this bridge, which stands 73 feet above water. Lieutenant Tina Zanko with MPD says she, along with Corporal Paul Lee with MPD and Lieutenant Bailey McDonough with Daphne Search and Rescue, were able to get the dogs quickly, bringing them to shore, wrapping them in towels and giving them lots of love and care. Animal Services say the dogs are in good spirits and health and being cared for by a foster family. Investigators say they were questioning people along Clubhouse and Alba Club roads Wednesday when a patrol officer spotted a vehicle matching the description of the vehicle they were looking for. That's when police initiated a traffic stop and detained Rivers and Gallery. Robert Bryant, director of Mobile Animal Services, says it shows just how hard people work to hold others accountable.
This is up amongst the top of the things you see when you see such intent to cause harm. It is pretty bad.
Bryant says the dogs were brought to the shelter today to get an update on their vaccines and are still healthy. He also says they have received numerous applications from people wanting to give the dogs a forever home. Live in the studio, Natalie Williamson, Fox 10 News.
But like I said, man, you know, them big John dogs, no matter who got them. That's why I came in preaching about them dogs. When you're taking them to confirmation shows, weight pull, treadmill, the lure chase, you know, I think that's a great activity to get into as well, man. You just let your dog chase the lure down the thing and back, you know, to see how fast the dog is. I think that activity can really get into something a little more deeper if brothers really wanted it to, you know what I'm saying? You just compete to see who got the fastest dogs. See who got the fastest dogs. You know, and which dogs can hit that corner the fastest. Basically, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, these yellow dogs, it just depends on which ones they coming off of. You can't compare straight yellow dogs with no Mayday in it to Mayday dogs. Both great lines of dogs, but different shape, structured dogs. You know, I had a Mayday dog back in the days. Front end was so low, back end was so high. His name was Loghead. You know what I'm saying? He had legs about the size of that, about this long. Front legs about that long, and back legs regular length. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was all right, you know, but it just, when it came to them big giant dogs, they didn't produce. He may have produced some with the low front end, but the amount that Mayday produce, you get that low front end off of Mayday dogs all the time. You know, and we see some great dogs with low front ends, whether they was off big giant or other strains of dogs, you know. But some dogs just have it worse than other dogs, you know. Like, I'm gonna use this for example. JD got a low front end compared to his back end, you know, but it's not as low as, you know, some of the dog I'm telling you about I had in the past, the Mayday dog. JD back end, front end is nowhere near that low. And when JD stretch out, you know, it all look accordingly, and he look, you know, his front end be a little taller than, you know. But you get more of that with the Mayday stuff. You don't really get that with the Big John, you know. Like I said, throughout the years, and this is my opinion, the Big John stuff used to have bad teeth back in the days. The teeth would break out super easy, you know, and then they had thin teeth. They had thin teeth. So I know to watch out for that type of stuff. When it came to Fletcher, I was showing you his teeth. He had big, thick, white teeth. And, you know, he didn't have that problem. See, we done got them Big John dogs all different kind of ways. Long, I had, you know, my partner had one that was long when it was a puppy. It grew tall, but his joker was long. He didn't look long like a hot dog, sausage dog, or nothing like that. He just was a tall dog, and he looked more like a hound dog. You know, he was directly off Little John. He was straight off Little John, but he had that size like, well, he might have been Little. I think he was a little bit bigger than Little John myself, you know, but he may be about Little John size, but I think he was taller than Little John. Maybe took some of that Big John stuff from our Big John and just, you know, but like I said, he was directly off Little John. And he was, you know, he had to been a 60-something pounder. Now, my partner had one named Onion coming off Big Country. His name was Onion. That dog was a 60-something pound dog. Easy. Could have been close to 70 with no body fat on it. Tall, super tall dog. It didn't look long. He ain't had a bit of body fat, straight ripped. Looked like he was already ready to go to the show or something. But he had to be at least 60-something pounds. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes that dogs like that look bigger than what they is. But I'm going to tell you, like, he wasn't no lower than 55, but he had to be, he wasn't lower than 55, but I wouldn't doubt if he was 65 or better. You know what I'm saying? And this dog, like I said, he was off Big Country. Them dogs will throw big dogs just like that. And when you look at that dog Onion, you don't see no Mayday in him, period. You know, he dead now, but you didn't see no Mayday in him. And we talking big dog. Mayday is a great dog, but I'm just trying to distinguish. There is a difference. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much that Mayday dogs out here. You know, brothers, I think I'm talking trash about it, but I ain't talking no trash about it because I got a lot of it myself. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, that's why I always say, man, the Mayday dogs was crossed up so many different ways. It's so many different sauces of it. You know, you got the Corona stuff, the black stuff, the Corona stuff. You got all different kinds of Mayday dogs out there compared to the Big John dogs, which is one family. You know how you got Dallas, JRU and them boys in the old show Dallas. You know, the Ewans, you know, we got one family of dogs. And then you got Papa was a Rolling Stone dog. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere Mayday went, he laid his hat. Another thing I want to say, man, when you look at yellow offspring list, this is something I paid attention to. He got about 7 pages. But if you really pay attention to it, each one of them pages got the same dogs on it. I'm willing to bet you the same dog is on all 7 pages. Not all the same dogs, but I bet you can find at least 5 dogs that's on all 7 pages of that yellow offspring list. And that's because brothers enter in the same dog. You got another brother that enter the same dog. Another brother go enter the same dog. And now you got a whole long, like I said, he got 7 pages. In actuality, Grand Champion Yellow don't even got 3 pages full of breedings. But I tell you what, I want to send a big salute to all the dog brothers out there, the YouTube channels, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing. Yellow one, boy, I see you got some nice looking pups you posted up there earlier, man. Big salute to y'all brothers. I think DK Breakbread, DK had posted something. A couple brothers had posted some pictures up that I seen earlier, man, up on the YouTube. And big salute to all the brothers, man, that's doing their thing out here. All the brothers, man. We just gotta keep trying to. The best breedings ain't been made yet. You know, the best breedings ain't been made yet. It's so many great dogs out here and access to brothers to get these dogs. You know, you just don't gotta play like a lot of these brothers playing. Go behind your back trying to do this and trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to y'all brothers' opinion, a lot of people stronger than you think they is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people stronger than you think they is, and when you're trying to do all this backstabbing and all that, it ain't working for you, man. You know, every day I look at Facebook, somebody doing some crooked stuff when it comes to these dogs. A lot of that stuff I ain't even been getting involved with, you know, because I like to have a lot of factual things when I'm talking about stuff. And a lot of times I tell y'all brothers, you can come on my channel and you can air whoever you trying to air out or be comfortable and say what you trying to say. But, you know, I don't want to say it unless I know it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I just don't see why brothers do the crooked stuff they do in these dog games, man, for $1. You know, when all you got to do is work what you got. If you're a real dog, man, you'll work with 2 dogs, man, and you can come up with 100 dogs from 2 dogs if you're a real dog, man. You know, 3 dogs maybe, 4 dogs. If you're a real dog, man, you don't got to lie about things, you know what I'm saying? Brothers shouldn't make that something to get comfortable doing. Lying about dogs, lying about your credentials, lying about all this other stuff that don't matter when all you got to do is start with 2 or 3 good dogs, or however you going, whatever your plan is to work your program. It can be 1 dog, you know, but you got to start from somewhere. Start and take a step forward. Stop just talking. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. You know, and you know, like I said, man, it don't hurt, and it ain't no sin, and it ain't no problem. It don't make you less of a dog, man, to start with at the bottom and work your way up. When you know what you're looking for, you know what you're looking for. You know, that's why I always say a brother can get out the game. Say brother Indian Sonny, you know, that had the Bolio dog. Say he wanted to get in the dog game right now. You know what I'm saying? And he, you know, I'm not sure if he passed away or if he living, but say if he wanted to get in the dog game right now, and he ain't had no dog since Bolio, he know what to look for. He know what he like. It's not gonna take him long. All he gotta do is apply whatever he like to whatever's out here right now, you know, and go from there. He don't gotta go spend no $30,000 and $40,000 to get his yard started. You know, because he gonna buy a few dogs and he gonna breed them and make that happen. And from them few dogs, he gonna get more few dogs and more few dogs. You know, and that's just how it is, man. A lot of y'all not patient enough. A lot of y'all, some brothers take the wrong information from brothers that just gonna keep you spending money. You know, and you gotta spend money to take care of these dogs, of course. You know, and you gotta spend money to buy dogs. But the thing the old man told me, like I told y'all before, you know, if you know you're going to be in a dog game, try to go ahead and shoot for what you know you really want. You know, don't just go get something just to get it. Save your money if you can't get it yet until you can get what you really want, and then make sure that's the one you really want. And then if it don't turn out later on down the line, it was what it was, but you tried that. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not going to like I say, get a dog the best chance to be 100% bulldog. You know, you really can't knock that bloodline. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about them Frisco dogs and things like that, we had them dogs and we put time in with them dogs. We had some great Frisco dogs directly off Frisco, black dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we had dogs off the Spike dog. We had, man, great dogs from Garner. But a lot of them great dogs we had from Garner, off the Frisco stuff, we thought it was great, and it was great. But when we got them yellow dogs, they was on a different level. And when you hear me say, when we got the yellow dogs, a lot of y'all may think, and you look at your pedigree now and thinking, oh, that's how the yellow dogs that we got came. No, when ones we had off yellow, they were yellows in the third generation. For me, you know what I'm saying, in the second and first generation for other brothers. And I mean, when I can say this, I was in the era where my dog had Jeep in it in third, all the way down, through the whole pedigree and stuff like that in the close generations. You know, I seen one of Jeep daughters that was inbred on Crossroad Yard, and her legs and everything was messed up. She was a short dog, but none of her puppies, Jaguar, and none of her puppies was messed up. None of her puppies. You know, she had a little funny little funny look to her, you know, box, like a little underbite type thing, you know, but it wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't bad, but her puppies came out phenomenal. Then, as a matter of fact, Jaguar wasn't as bad as the other dog he had over there, you know, but it just, these dogs were directly off Jeep. And Crossroad, he had them directly off all them dogs, you know. But it ain't no fun to talk about one if you ain't really had experience with it, even if it's one or two dogs. You know, you can't knock no dog until you at least had that dog one time. You know what I'm saying? You going by just what you see. You can't go by what you see until you get that feel in your hand and you can take that dog off and do things with it. You know what I'm saying? And then you can make your judgment from there. You know, and a lot of brothers just ain't gonna never, you know, like they always say, man, even when you breed your own stuff and you try them dogs and you get certain things, if you start with a lesser quality dog, you might get a better dog off that. But the thing is, you wanna get dogs where you can start you a family of dogs. You know what I'm saying? And produce you some great dogs as well. Like we always talk about like the famous dogs, the more modern famous dogs like LT Ray, Ship, Boogie Boy. When we talk about the more modern dogs, you know what I'm saying? And big salute again to the brother with the Cheetah dog, Grand Champion the Cheetah, you know, representing for my dog brothers across the world. But one of the dogs that made a name coming from the bottom, my Mexican brothers. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to them, man. See, the more and more of these bootleg dogs we keep finding, we gonna make brothers take pride in the dog they got in the yard. You ain't gonna wanna rely on the pedigree because the dog you got in the yard is great. His daddy probably great. But when you start going back in that pedigree, you're gonna find something you don't wanna find. So we're gonna make you rely on and make your dog have a name. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, man, hashtag rep your own name when it comes to these dogs. You know, Jeep, great dog. Red Boy, great dog. Big John, great dog. Jocko, great dog. Honey Bunch, great dog. Bully Son, great dog. Hurdy Curd. Another thing, my brother Samurai. I know why you kept posting that post on YouTube. I mean on Facebook. You said something about Bully Son, I think you said, or something like that. And one of them other dogs, I think it was two dogs you had posted about. But I clicked that, hit that like button. You know why? Listen here, dog. All the trash brothers talk, everything brothers talk about, but half the dog game is built up off curves, built up off losers.
Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
And if them brothers from the old school can do it, who did that? Y'all hero, my hero too, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. I represent for Mr. Boudreaux, you know what I'm saying? He a great dog, man. You know, can't say nothing bad about him. But he ain't got my kind of dogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't run the Eli stuff, but I know of some phenomenal Eli dogs that done touched this ground, touched this soul from one side of the country to the other side of the planet. Them Eli dogs been standing the test of time. You know, but we got to just keep it real. Mr. Boudreaux kept some curves.
Shut the fuck, shut. Did I say, no! Oh, shit, say it again, say something else. Oh, say something else.
You know, I think they said who was Honey Bunch and Bully Son. I want to say that one of them Eli dogs, Eli himself, I think what it was. They was about to kill him. Mr. Boudreaux put him up under the tree and took him home. But y'all got some great dogs off of him now. Y'all got some great dogs off of him. Now don't tell me y'all Eli boys gonna be looking for Mount for the next 50 years. You know, is that what y'all gonna be famous for? When y'all gonna be famous for being game? Now, them boys had them Eli dogs back in the days, and they supposed to have Mount, and they may have been game as well. But they wasn't known for being game once the real game dogs touched that damn ground. You know, once them dogs that had that natural wind hit that ground, them Eli dogs seem like they get tired in 20, 30 minutes. You know, so what I'm saying is they always been known to be biters, but when they gonna be known to be game? Straight Eli dogs, not no red boy Eli crosses and all kind of stuff, you know. And if you made your crosses to put you something game in it and then went back to your Eli stuff to make it straight Eli again, because you can throw your cross in it, but you got to breathe back to your pure stuff, breathe back to your pure, and that way you slowly washing your cross out of it. But you got your cross in it enough for, you know, to have a different gene pool in. But, I mean, hey, y'all gonna go another 50 years looking for Mount? Bragging about Mount, how them Eli dogs biting?
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Hey, it done been 30, and let me see, no, now since Eli from the 70s. It done been about 50 years. And I mean, come on now. Which Eli dogs possess that gameness the way them red boy dogs did? I'm asking brothers, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm asking brothers right now, which Eli dogs possess that gameness? And I'm not talking about one dog that went for 3 hours. Did he throw offspring that can go for 2 or 3 hours? That's what I'm talking about. And they say them Eli dogs don't do good with inbreeding, but we only hear that from certain brothers because Mr. Boudreaux did a whole hell of a lot of inbreeding and got great dogs from it. Now, one thing we gotta say, it wasn't as much when Mr. Boudreaux was in the game. It was more of a Wild Wild West era, but not many people had dogs the way they got them now, or the way they had them in the late 90s. You know, you can probably almost guarantee Mr. Boudreaux been out the game longer than some of y'all brothers been born. You know, that brother got some age on him. You know, that's a blessing. Got some age on him. And you can bet, like I said, he been out the game longer than some of y'all brothers been born. But I will say now, you know, Mr. Boudreaux, you know, far as I know, had great dogs. But let's just tell the truth. You know, all them dogs, you know, that we look high on started from Curves, Jeep, come off a Honey Bunch. You know, were these dogs the best dogs? How hard was it for Jeep to get 3 wins during that era where he was at? Some brothers say he dodged. You know, some brothers say, you know, like they say, a lot of dogs weren't in the errors when a lot of the dogs were out. And a lot of dogs weren't the same weight as the other dogs. So they couldn't meet each other in different things. But how How hard was it really to get 3 wins in them days? You know? And if a dog is good as you say he is, why not go to 4, 5, 6? You know, unless he broke a fang or something or got hurt or something. You know, and that take from dogs that do got, when you hear double grand champion or a dog that won 10 or 11 or something like that, it take away from their credit kind of because, you know, we look so high on the dogs like Jeep. But the production level was there. You know, the production level was there when it came to Jeep. You know, produce some great dogs. I don't care how many curves he came off of. You know, never heard nothing bad about his daddy. And we did an interview with the brother a while back. Let me find out y'all done killed all the best producers. With all y'all, you had too much ego and too much pride, and y'all done destroyed all the best producers because you thought they were losers. And they didn't do what you want them to do, so you destroyed them and kept the dogs that you thought was the best, but they ain't producing that. You know? But hey, that's not all the brothers. That's just some dogs, man. You got great producing dogs out there in all lines. You just got to find them and know where they at, you know? All lines got them. It just, some dogs got it and some dogs don't. Some folk gonna like it and some folk ain't, you know? And that's how it is, man. Like I said, even since I've been young, I realized some dogs just never gonna be able to compete with other dogs when it comes to certain events. You know, you can make a great dog, but sometimes you just out your class when it comes to certain bulldogs. And I don't mean the Big John stuff or the Mayday stuff, or I'm just talking about just 2 individuals competing, whatever event they competing in. Sometimes you just got a line of dogs that's just gonna be outclassed by that dog no matter what. You know, it's just the skill level that line of dogs is just immaculate compared to the skill level that, you know, you may came to the event with. You know, and it just be like that, man. Like you say, like some brothers say, you know, the good dogs come where you find them, you know. But I know one thing, a good line come when you take time and study it. Take time, when I say study, that don't mean like on the paper actually, but that'll count too. But take time one by one with these dogs. Look at certain ones. See how this one act. See how that one act. You know, check out the dogs in the past. You know, if you can't really see the dogs in the past, your past got to start right now. The dogs that you see now, the dogs that you see come in the future. Check all that stuff out, you know. And a lot of lines, even when it come to mine, you may be hesitant to buy dogs from me or buy dogs off the line I'm running with. Check out the puppies come out. Check how these dogs turn out when you see these dogs competing in this event or that event or this event. You know, look at the offspring and the offspring. But I ain't gonna keep y'all brothers and sisters here too long today, man. I hope everybody had a great day, great evening. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay legal out there. You know, and just remember, man, when you get it from first, when you want that dog talk and that dog news. And like I always say, hit that like button up before you get up out of here. Drop down in the comments. Appreciate the brothers and sisters in the comments. You know, PBK9s, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. And we out.